Hello, everybody. We are back with the premiere episode of season 2 of Witch Girl Adventures. I'm so excited. This has been, I say a long time coming, but in actuality, it's only been like a few weeks. So, like, clearly, we must really love this for only a few weeks to pass and us to treat it like we've not played in like a year. We're excited. I hope you're excited. I'm Little Red Dot. I want to welcome all of you to the channel. If you are new here, take a moment, hit that follow button. That way you know when we go live the next time we're rolling dice and telling stories here on the channel. More importantly, I've got some really exciting announcements, which I'm going to kick off with so that we can go like right into the interesting part of why we're here today. First things first, I'm really excited to announce that we are getting a huge collection of emojis for the Dot Lot. They are coming. They're going to be branded to the channel. We're getting a Little Red Dot, like an actual Dot character. So there's going to be a Little Red Dot character, which I'm so excited. I've got all kinds of costumes picked out for this Little Red Dot character, which is pretty exciting. So I'm really excited to announce that because we're gonna have a subathon where you can get your hands on those emotes coming in the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for that. I'll tell you what that's about. It's gonna be like special RPGs. I'm gonna run a bunch of stuff, but when you sub, you gain access to all of the new emotes. So it'll be a really exciting launch, and I can't wait to reveal everything. So that's announcement number 1. Announcement number 2. This Sunday is, in fact, Sunday Fun Day. We still need people for the first game of the day. So if you want to play some D&D, let me actually grab that link. You can pop on over and sign up. It's literally that simple. So I'll drop a link here. If you want to sign up, we've still got slots. First thing Sunday morning. We're going to play some D&D. And then after that, I believe it's For the Queen, which I actually have not played yet on my channel. I've played on a few other channels, but I am really excited to bring it to the Dot Lot and see what this interesting crew has to offer. Some familiar faces playing in that one. Other than that, Witch Girl Adventures for 8 weeks, everybody. 8 more weeks of witch-tasticness, and we're going to keep our fingers crossed for a possible live show happening at an upcoming con. Do not want to spoil, do not want to jinx, but we're going to put good vibes out there for that to actually happen, so fingers crossed. Okay, now, let's go around and meet all of these incredible people while I still pull up this link because it's taking forever. Because this is technically the first episode of this season, and we want to be welcoming to everybody no matter where they hop in our story. Tell us who you are, but more importantly, tell us about your witch. Give us a little bit of information, and for those of you at home, we have a little bit of a time skip that's happened during our break. Most importantly, they have gone on fall break. And during fall break, they get to take a trip, if they hang around, or so choose, through the school, kind of like a school-sanctioned field trip, to a giant voodoo festival that happens. Of course, the teacher, one of the Willow Mist teachers, leads it, and it's an overnight like tie-in of trip. So when you introduce your witch girl, you're also going to tell us when you went on this trip over the break. You're going to have a question. I guess I'll have to prompt each of you. So we'll start with Tiffany. Tiffany, your question is going to be, what is something amazing that all of you saw during this trip? So when you describe it, make sure you use the term we. What did all of you see? Tell us who you are and what you saw.
Okay. Well, hi, I am Tiffany. I am a podcaster and cosplayer. I do the show North by Northquest with Dot. And I just finished up GMing my volume, which was really exciting. You can find me online at NXN Quest or RTS Cosplay. I am playing Percy Rosewood. She is a cybermancy and elementalism witch. So she loves computers, is very into coding and gaming and figuring all of that out, but also loves plants. She's also kind of Instagram obsessed. So she uses her phone as her wand to cast her magic, which she just got upgraded thanks to our new cybermancy friends from last season. Who upgraded.
Are they really friends? You all seemed really. I was about to say, you all seemed really hesitant about them.
Everyone's a friend to Percy. I think we warmed up to them a lot more when we realized that the one guy was Aurora Mist's ex.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That
was the drama bar that filled. Actually, Tiffany, good job. See that bar down there at the bottom? When you fill that bar, drama happens. You can do that by giving bits and donations, and then crazy stuff like Aurora Mist's ex pop into the picture. I forgot about that.
This is my favorite part of the whole season. Okay, so on our trip, what did we see?
I have no idea.
We kind of broke away from the group at one point to just wander around the town where we were, the area we were, and we found the most amazing street carnival and watched these like amazing people perform juggling, street like magic, close-up magic, which was highly entertaining since we can do actual magic.
Right.
So it was very fun. We may or may not have added a little bit of actual magic to the show because we couldn't resist. But yeah.
No, Raven definitely did.
Oh, we totally did. And the performers did a really good job of seeming not completely surprised, but we knew.
Sure. I'm sure you're not the first actual witches to have bothered them.
Probably not.
All right, nice. Cool. Let me go back to my actual screen where I can see all of your faces. Your amazing faces. There they are. Jess. So Shauna, you're up next. Tell us who you are, who you play, and you're going to answer the question, what is one thing you all ate? What's one thing you ate on this overnight trip?
Yeah, I'm Shauna Oxoni, playing just on Twitter, artist, and a bunch of games all over the place. I did the art for the for this stream, so that should be have more coming up soon.
Yeah!
And I played Jess Hana, the little werewolf teen girl. She's probably the most new to the magic world. I think this is her first year kind of being steeped into it, but she loves sports of any kind, and especially broom riding, which she is supernaturally good at most of the time, and she is willing to help any of her witch girl friends to the joys of broom riding. So as far as one thing that we ate, we just, we went and tried everything. We tried as much as we could. We got on our brooms, each separated to different places, got food, and then just flew up to a tree and just sat and watched the lights. Popcorn, snacks, all sorts of things.
Wow.
That's how you blow your budget.
I was about to say, yeah, you guys blew your budget and you got belly aches.
Yeah. What's allowance for if at school,
Yeah, if you don't blow it on.
Hashtag worth it.
Yes.
I love it. All right, so you saw this street performers. You ate everything. Next up, moving right across, is actually going to be Kika. Kika, tell us who you are, who you play, and you're going to answer the question. It has to be you. I give this one to. What is one rule you broke? What is one rule the group broke while you were on this trip?
Oh gosh, that I'm gonna have to think about. I'm Kika.
Yeah, you can only pick one.
Oh no. You guys break so many.
I know.
Okay. Well, first off, I'm Kika. Kika Bio on Twitter. I play on some streams here and there. I also put together inclusivity panels at PAXs. PAX West, you can find me on Lore and Dungeons and Dragons, Transgender Narratives Tabletop Gaming, and queer role play or queer world building are all panels that I have coming up at PAX West. So if you're there, check those out. I play Elizabeth DeTass, the youngest witch of the group, who is half immortal, specializes in time and space magic, and is a bit of a goody two-shoes. She was formerly the smallest person in the group, but she had her 13th birthday and had quite a growth spurt since her immortal blood kicked in, and now she's like 5'7". So she's very tall, and she had quite the growing pains.
Very nice.
One rule that we broke. I think while we were on the trip, we weren't supposed to do like too much broom riding, but we eventually ended up goading each other into doing some broom racing whenever we could sneak away from the chaperones. So we have done quite a bit of broom racing. A few bones might have broken that needed to be healed in secret. And we have gotten, I think we might have actually gotten caught and gotten into a bit of trouble.
Yeah, okay, yeah. This is like Too Fast, Too Furious. Okay, this is like late night broom riding, broken bones. I'm loving this. All right, so you guys saw a bunch of street performers. You ate everything. You broke the rules and rode your brooms too much and went broom racing. In fact,
yeah, I think we probably ended up like broom racing against like a local gang of witches.
Wow, I love it.
We would find the local gang.
The local gang, yeah. Okay.
They'll ruin the day they mess with the toadstools. Okay.
Yeah.
Loretta is fine being on the ground. She's the one like waving a handkerchief in the air.
We gotta show them. We gotta show them what we're about.
So,
Conjuring a matching jacket.
speaking of Loretta, tell us, Catherine, who you are, who you play, Loretta, and I think your question's actually going to be not about broom riding. This one's going to be somebody you met. Who is somebody interesting you met? The group of you met on this trip. So take it away.
All right. Well, my name is Catherine. I am also a gluttonous geek on Twitter. I run the Nerdy Food blog, Geek. Actually, the Witch Girls themed recipes that you saw on Twitter, those are mine. We may have another one before the season is out, probably part of the giveaway. But yes, I also run a Twitch channel here on Twitch, and a show called Munchies and Minis, where I first make a tabletop-inspired snack and then work on painting a mini. And I play Loretta Maytree, who is a conjuration and more recently divination witch, who was raised in kind of an imaginary 1950s and 60s sitcom type world before her mother died of a mysterious illness. And in this past season, she got to see an old memory of her mother's, which was rather interesting for her to see and find out probably the reason why she was banished from this world. But there's so many mysteries still left that questions that completely unanswered probably raised more questions in the process. So,
You're
yes.
welcome!
Yep! At this point, the only first people she really trusts are her sisters. At this point. Yeah, they're the only ones who've not been keeping things from her. So.
Good gut instinct.
Thanks, guys!
Yeah, good gut instinct.
And as far as meeting people, well, Loretta loves meeting new people in every form. And I mean every form. So I imagine that they probably found like a little small town. Because she would, oh look, this diner looks a lot like my mother's, and it's just kind of dragging her friends and just saying hello to everybody. But they happened to meet a little nice old lady who offered them cookies. and she just had to get the recipe, so they spent the afternoon making cookies with this little old lady. We'll call her Rosie.
Rosie the voodoo lady.
Yes, Rosie the voodoo lady with cookies. The cookie voodoo lady.
The cookie voodoo lady. Oh, you have a recipe for voodoo cookies.
Now I'm going to have to make one. Oh god. Just give myself more work. Work.
Awesome. All right, very cool. And last but certainly not least, we have Eris. So let's see. You saw street performers, you ate everything, you broke the rules and went broom riding. You stopped and met an old voodoo lady named Rosie who gave you her secret cookie recipe. And last but certainly not least on this trip, tell me something that the group, let's see, what you ate, what you did, tell me something that you guys did in celebration. Tell me about a celebratory moment on this trip for all of you. Oh no, do we lose
Well,
it?
first off, hello. I'm Eris Mod. Sorry, I had to unmute. I'm a hula hooping seamstress and I love RPGs. Today I am playing Raven Allahan, who is a 16-year-old, extremely bubbly Jinx, who happens to be lucky to be around, but not lucky to be. She's a bit of a trickster, and she's very brave, and she's a great friend. But even though she's also obsessed with flying, she's not good at it. She's been practicing, and bless her heart, she tries so hard. And let's see. So one thing that we celebrated, I think, is actually Raven's been practicing so hard, and she's been pulling Percy into her broom riding practices, especially with Jess. And you know what? When they flew against that local group of witches,
we gotta name these ladies.
And we had a celebratory, and I guess that's another people we met. We had a celebratory raid of a random kitchen. We don't even know whose house it was. Well,
okay, so
we, as in probably Percy and Raven.
but everybody ate the food. Okay.
Raided a kitchen, found some cupcakes. Everybody ate cupcakes.
Stolen cupcakes. Voodoo cookies, stolen cupcakes. All right, this is beautiful. Now that we've met everyone, they're witches.
Voodoo cookies and stolen cupcakes is the name of my Blue Oyster Cult cover band. I just had to pull a poem storm there.
Oh man,
it was there.
That's brilliant.
Okay.
That's so brilliant. All right. So for all of you, let's see. I think I'm going to start with a very kind of brief and rounded recap of last season to get us right into this. I may ask you guys some questions along the way, and I'm going to just try to hit kind of the meat of everything because a lot happened last season, and a lot of questions were left unanswered. But a girl started a fresh year after a traumatic event where a group of witches, along with the help of their sister, Morwen, attempted to rise the great Echnida, who is the evil witch who once ruled here and has since been laid to rest and locked away. This left things in a little bit of unease here at Willowmist, but they started the year out strong. Renovations had been made, new students had come in, Elizabeth being one of them, and the girls started out fresh. But because of their daft fighting when the attack happened during the Yule Cotillion, they were asked to join an elite group, one that is known in the witches world, but only by those that have really been a part of it, which is the Hex Scouts. On the outside, the Hex Scouts are kind of your average do-gooder girls, which makes it social suicide almost to be a part of one. But in reality, the Hex Scouts represent an ancient group of witches who handle situations that need to be dealt with off the books, or when the Witches World Council needs a alternate group of people to go in and deal with things. And the girls were selected as such. They went through their trials, they wear the vest, they got a few patches. They found out they had a fairy godmother, Ashley, who they thought was actually best friends with Lucinda Nightbane, who turned out to actually be Lucinda Nightbane's fairy godmother in training. So it was a whole bit of drama. We learned some things in classes, some new spells, things here and there. But most importantly, their time was spent trying to recover Morrowind's mind, because they found out that Morrowind's body and mind had been separated. One thing led to another, and eventually they found themselves, at the end of the season, at what they believed to be Aconita's tomb. The Highbenders, an ancient group of witches, seemed to be running some kind of scheme to bring Aconita back. Potentially the same people that made the attack on the Yule-Cotillion. And these girls fought daftly and came back with the proof that they had saved both the Medusa and they were greeted by a woman on a Vespa, but also Aurora Mist, who showed them that Morrowind had in fact returned. Weeks passed. Morrowind's return was odd. She doesn't seem to remember you. She hangs out with a different group of people. She keeps her hair back in a high ponytail with a bow, and her clothes are perfectly pressed with seams. Bright colors, nice lipstick, everything that Morrowind would never have touched. She is courteous to all of you, and often when she bumps into you, asks if she's met you before. But she seems to have no genuine memory. Aurora Mist made it clear to all of you that the Witches World Council had located Morrowind's body. A team of secret ops had gone in and recovered it, but unfortunately her mind was not there. They wanted to give Morrowind a chance. They wanted to give another witch a chance. And they put a new mind inside of Morrowind's body. To keep the world, the Witches World, from panicking, especially over the fact that the Highbenders may be rising. The idea of Morrowind continuing to go to school here may subdue many questions. So the five of you are the only ones who know that she's not actually Morrowind. Well, the Witches World Council, Aurora, and the five of you all know that she's not actually Morrowind. But the rest of the semester passes almost too perfectly. There are no problems. You're not called out of class. You study, you do your homework. All of these things. But something seems just odd. And you all have to take your midterms, which we're going to roll for now. What I would like from each of you is for you to roll your mind die. If you feel that you have any skill, not like history related, nothing very specific, but like a study-based skill or an academic-based skill that may help, you're welcome to do that. If you feel like your witch girl would have studied, like I know Elizabeth did a lot of studying, you would get a +1 to your roll. So go ahead and roll up your mind die. Let me know if you're adding anything to it. If you feel like your witch girl would have really studied, you can take the +1.
Can I add my basics to it?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all in the same room when they're taking their test?
Sure.
Thank you.
Then everybody gets a +1 for Raven being there.
Oh, that's right. Raven's there as your jinx, so go ahead and take another +1. So you could potentially get upwards of 3 or 4 pluses to this roll for your midterms.
Yeah, Jess, I think, is very serious about studying. She needs to do good, so she went to, especially, I think, Elizabeth and the rest of them, too.
Okay.
Brush up on it.
I think yeah, Percy would have studied as well. Not as much as Elizabeth, but she takes her job as getting the others to study very seriously.
Two questions. Would I add all my ranks in basics, or just a +1 for having it?
All your ranks and basics.
Okay, and also, would Vex be allowed with me? Prince Vex, my crow familiar?
I would say so. I mean,
bird familiar near you gives you +1 to all mundane rolls.
There you go. This would be considered a mundane roll.
Okay,
There you go.
so here's Elizabeth's roll.
Okay. Elizabeth, roll.
I need to check if I have
13.
A
anything.
13. Okay. Next.
I don't think I have anything special.
No, it's okay. Okay.
Uh, Percy is. Oh no, Percy!
Oh, Percy.
Percy, no.
How dare!
All right.
Roll 20.
How dare you roll 20? Okay. So, the good news
She was
is,
just really sick that day.
Percy, what
She
is your actual mind die?
It's a D 8.
It's a D8.
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay. All right. So, looking at all of your rolls, here's who fully passes everything and who does not. It doesn't mean that you fail everything. It just means you may not pass everything. And this is just a midterm examination as well. So, obviously, Elizabeth does. It looks like Raven and Percy are the two who don't pass quite as well. You're going to be in like the C to D range on this quiz. You get quite a few of your examination questions or activities incorrect. Shauna and Jess, thank you. Jess and Loretta, I got it, words. You guys pass, but you're more in like B range.
Fine.
Yeah, there's only one person that got like all A's, and that was Elizabeth. And you guys do pass. Here's the thing. Your midterm examination is like a benchmark of how you need to do in your second semester. So those of you that don't do so well, so I guess that was, yeah. You're pulled off to the side. And you're reminded by Aurora Miss before the break happens that midterms are midterms are a trajectory. They show you how well you're doing. Ladies, you're not doing well. Next semester, you may want to consider studying a little more. Listen, I know that you've had a lot on your plate. If you need help, such as more time in the day, come see me.
Extra hours would be great. Like 30 extra hours in a day would be excellent.
She says, there's only so much I can do. But I have faith that the both of you can bring this up no problem. We've never had issues with either of you with your academics.
Yeah, we'll do better after this. You know, it's been a lot.
You're doing great. And she kind of winks, knowing the weight and burden that all of you are carrying, literally herself having been there before, as you know that she was a Hex Scout. And she says, I look forward to seeing you all on the trip. Now, scat, your midterms are over. Enjoy your break.
Thank you.
And you guys pit her off for the break to begin. So good. You guys have at least an idea of where you're going into. For those of you that failed your midterms, when we go into your final exams, you will take a -1 die. That's how this works.
Perfect.
Yep. Or a -1 to your entire roll. That's really what I should say, not a die. All right, so here we go. You guys take this incredible trip. You load up on this magical school bus, Willow Miss bus, and you, which is actually pulled by a set of Pegasi. You guys fly off into like a teleportation portal, basically, and it pops you out the other side, smack dab in the middle of the Louisiana Bayou. You guys are in New Orleans, but in a secret side of New Orleans, one that is only ever seen by those who know that it's there. And you have this incredible experience. You're headed to something called the Udu Festival. Like, who do you do? It's called the Udu Festival.
Remind me of the band?
Yeah, exactly. It's called the Udu Festival, and the Udu Festival at Udu, and it's a place where witches come to celebrate Halloween. I'm gonna have to start this festival now that I'm talking about it. So the Udu Festival. Yes. You guys see street performers. You eat all kinds of things. You get in trouble for broom racing. You meet an old lady who gives you a cookie recipe, and more importantly, you sneak into somebody's house that you do not know, and you steal their Udu cupcakes. But you know, on the top of each one is a letter, and it spells out Udu.
I left them like $5, hopefully. hopefully that's enough.
And leaving $5 behind, and all of you come back. Elizabeth having hit her growth spurt, and with stories and letters and shared experiences, and you return for the first day of classes. You are prepped with your items, your new uniforms, maybe new clothing that needed to be a couple sizes taller. And you go, and you head back to the school that you all know and love, having these memories, and more importantly, knowing that you're going to have to face Morrowind once again. Same room, same stuff, same school year. And the bell rings Monday morning. You can hear it in the hallway. A few people rustle about. The hallway starts as girls begin to head towards the shared bathrooms to fight over who's going to shower first. And, yeah. What do you all do?
Percy rolls out of bed and kind of just like groggily gets herself together. It was like she hasn't caught up on sleep from the trip.
Yeah.
You guys, we have to be good at going to class for the rest of the semester.
Hearing someone moving around, Raven completely pops up from bed because she was supposed to get up probably half an hour earlier and starts frantically trying to get her stuff together because she cannot fail this next semester.
Loretta's still in bed. She's going, I mean, I've been awake for the past, 20 minutes, but, look at him. He's so precious. And Mr. Whiskers is just, curled up around her arm and just snoring and purring at the same time. It's the cutest thing. So, I guess I could probably conjure up some breakfast from here. And so she kind of waves her hand and, I should say probably she's learned about breakfast bars at this point. And she also knows how much late they've been running, so just big stacked little pyramid of breakfast bars and little travel thermoses of coffee. Cause she's getting a little bit more, with the times. Even times probably would be marked as the 1990s. So yes, totally. And she learned about Lucky Charms and how wonderful lucky they are. So here, have your sugary breakfast bar and coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
around,
good, I have to go to the library. Perfect.
Shoving breakfast
She grabs her bag and a broom and rushes out the door to the library.
When you rush out of the door, you almost bump, cream this girl. You just nail her. She's walking past and you bolster out your door and she's right there and you smack right into her. And it just happens to be Morrowind.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Morn. I just had to go to the library. I'm so sorry.
She gets up and kind of brushes herself off. She doesn't say much. Her eyes stay low. I'm fine. And she just kind of pulls her tongue. She says, I have to go. And she kind of looks at you weird and pitters off, picking her books up and restructuring them in a stack as she bustles past.
I grab my broom because it clattered on the floor and I run off.
What about Jess and Elizabeth?
I think Elizabeth woke up early and went to her first classroom, but then sat outside and fell asleep. So she's asleep, sitting in the hall with Vex pecking at her face, and her
Love it.
yeah, I think Jess gets up super early to go running, so she gets around 5 a.m. to go running, so she probably just sees Elizabeth just Elizabeth, wake up. I think you're supposed to do that in bed. What are you doing up? Everyone else is up.
Class.
You don't look to be in class.
But I've been really tired lately, so I thought I should get to class very early, just in case I fell asleep again.
No, well, we did go to bed at 3 in the morning, so.
Well, I usually only sleep 1 hour because of my Rise and Shine ring, but since the growth spurt, I've been a lot more tired.
It's It's about time that the rest of them are up. They probably have some breakfast. Why don't we go get some? At least Loretta might have some coffee.
So let's just have her conjure something when she gets here.
I'm just like, if she wants, I'll piggyback Elizabeth back to the room.
I love it. You kind of help her up. It does seem that the people have started heading towards the cafeteria to get breakfast bits and things. Like if that is something that you want, you'll know that it's open and ready to go. I am putting people's faces in the right place. FYI, so everybody knows. I know it's all messed up. And
Sorry, might be.
oh, that's okay. No worries. I just realized it's like, wait a second, that's not who that's supposed
I
to
am
be.
Raven now. I am Raven.
Yeah.
I am Jess.
So the
Enjoy your -2 to finals, Raven.
you
Oh, with my mind die, it's not. It would be dire.
yeah, it's dire now, but that's okay. You may get some bonuses because you're taking extra time to study. I mean, you booked it out of bed. You're trying, and that counts for something. All right, your first class of the day is let's see. Your first class of the day is actually mentalism. First class of your day is mentalism.
Loretta finally arrives in the room right before the bell rings, and Mr. Whiskers is now following close on her heels, just kind of yelling at her, because Mommy was gone away for a very long time last time she went to class, so he's going to make sure he doesn't lose her.
When Loretta comes in, Elizabeth like waves tiredly and is like, "Coffee."
Oh, there you go. I not knew that you needed it. You went out so early.
Elizabeth just takes it and just drinks the whole thing like all at once.
Here, honey, have a breakfast bar.
I'm good.
Percy
Next
comes
time-
running to the classroom, both with a breakfast bar and coffee in her hand, but also breakfast from the cafeteria.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so you guys, a couple girls follow in. You're not necessarily the very first ones there. Of course, who walks in but none other than Morrowind herself, though she's followed with by a group of girls. She seems to be top of the pecking order with this group of girls. She like laughs and flips her ponytail, they chat about who knows what, maybe the trip that she went on with her family. A few minutes pass, and let me make sure. I think I know. Yes, okay. You haven't met this woman yet. In walks a kind of thin, quaint woman. She is definitely petite, to say the least. Her dark hair and kind of narrow, dark rimmed glasses complement one another. And in walks your teacher, Constance Lee. She goes by Connie Lee is her name. She teaches divination and mentalism. It's very clear that her place of origin, or at least her family's, is probably China. And she comes from a school, witch's school in Hong Kong. She's a transfer here to Willow Mist. Yeah, and she kind of comes in and gestures very daintily with her hand for all of you to have a seat and to settle down. She kind of looks at all of you and she says, "Okay. How was everyone's break?"
Oh, it was very fun. Thanks for asking.
She smiles. You answered. A couple other girls like, yeah, we went shopping. Kind of mumbles about the room. Anybody else?
I had my birthday. Yay, let's do class.
She says, "A birthday? That's exciting. Should we sing happy birthday?"
No, please
Oh,
don't.
we should totally sing happy birthday.
Please don't.
No, we definitely should.
Yeah.
Can we please sing happy
Constance, she says, "Girls, one of the things you'll learn as you get older is that having your birthday sung to you over and over makes you insane."
Thank you.
She like smiles and she says, "So, let's save Miss," she kind of checks her chart, "Elizabeth, 1 year of sanity, shall we?"
If you want to celebrate my birthday, you can do it by giving me coffee.
Oh, good. I already did that.
And she smiles and she says, "Now, today is our mentalism class. Second period is being cancelled. We are gathering for an assembly. Miss Aurora Mist would like to speak with everyone."
Aww. Like Elizabeth, like genuinely looks upset to be missing class.
Does
Percy
this...
just like gives looks to the other girls, just like, oh no, like what's going on?
Was it on? It wasn't It wasn't on the schedule for.
I mean, it's well known. Usually, the first day back, there's some kind of assembly. It's not that odd.
Yeah.
Well,
It would mean that you guys are missing physical education.
Oh,
oh,
no.
that's fine.
No.
No.
Oh no, we're so
Like-
sad about that.
Just looks like she looks at the thing and just like what sketch, like what class is like, just like buries her head.
Percy pats her on the back, just like, it's gonna be okay.
Good class.
No one but you likes to run anyways.
Percy, you notice. You'd probably be the only one in this room that would notice, but she has a pretty snazzy cell phone that hangs from her hip, or is in her, like, clipped onto her pocket or whatever. She does wear, like, a nice cut pair of trousers and a kind of this, like, ruffly top piece, but, yeah, it's a pretty nice cell phone. It seems to be enchanted in some way, though. You're unsure if you can tell exactly what it does.
Ooh,
But it is,
intrigued.
like, yeah. But she's got some kind of snazzy cell phone. She also seems to be very stylish. She probably... I don't know what Willow Mist teachers are paid, but she dresses like she stepped out of, like, a Vogue magazine. She's like the Devil Wears Prada of Willow Mist. So that's something about her, too. And she says, so I guess just to not waste any more of your time, let's talk about mentalism. What is it?
Mind magic?
Yeah.
That is a
Moving
very...
things with the mind and reading minds and a lot of mind stuff.
A lot of mind stuff.
Yes.
She kind of laughs, knowing that you're definitely... She doesn't seem like a very curt woman. She is kind of warm, but she takes that in very humorously. She says, yes. And why do you think mentalism is important?
Because your mind is your most powerful tool.
Very good, Elizabeth. Yes. A witch's mind is her greatest weapon. Where would you be able to do what you do without your mind? Do you think if a witch's mind is affected that she can still ride her broom?
No.
I mean, she'd be in a coma, wouldn't she? Technically?
Is our magic tied to our mind?
I think mine's tied to my cell phone.
Whether or not our magic is tied to our minds, we can't use it without our minds, because without our mind we can't do anything.
That's right. So mentalism is an interesting form of magic because it requires the mind to cast, but it is also affecting of the mind. For you to have true power over mentalism as a magical option, you must retain a calmed mind. Who here meditates? Couple, like, hands shoot up in the room very quickly. That is disappointing. Ladies, your homework. Meditate once a day for 10 minutes until next week. Every day. After you come out of this state where you do not speak, will you try to clear your mind of all thoughts? I want you to write into a book all the things that ran through your head when it was supposed to be calm. Now, we're going to try some mentalism today. One of the easiest ways to keep ourselves secret in a mundane ruled world is to be able to simply help that mundane person forget. So, we are going to try to cast Forget.
Oh, I know this one.
I am going to come around. Partner off, partner off. Come. She kind of like snaps her fingers. Her space is it feels like a yoga studio. It's got this very like calming effect to it. There are floor pillows everywhere. And she simply says, get up. Stand across from someone. And she says, Elizabeth, for your birthday present, you can be with me.
Okay.
She as if this is like the greatest gift she could give you. And she, you guys begin to kind of stand across from one another. All the girls pair off. And she says, now, this is a rank 2 spell. It is more difficult. For those of you that pass it, it will become easier and easier every time you do it. I'm going to go around to this side of the room, and she gestures like to one line. She says, I'm going to whisper a phrase into their mind. On the opposite side, you are to cast Forget on them, and to make them forget the phrase. Simple as that. And we will repeat with the opposite sides. She says, close your eyes, everyone. Close your eyes. And she kind of whispers out into the air. And the whisper literally takes a corporeal, like, smoky form, and it rides through the ears of each of the girl in one line. So in this one, we'll say Percy and Loretta and Elizabeth. You're standing in the line that's going to get the first phrase. The phrase comes into your ear and it says, monkeys like bananas. This is the phrase that you hear in your mind's eye. Monkeys like bananas. Raven and Jess, you are on the opposing side. Go ahead now, cast Forget. So this is a rank 2. If you have mentalism, go ahead and add your mentalism points to it. Your magic die. Any points you have in mentalism. Your spell casting bonuses as well, so don't forget those.
Don't forget you have a +1 for the Raven effect.
The Raven effect is in full throttle in the room.
Yeah. Hey, that's not
Nicely
bad.
done. All right. We'll say just because it's paired off like this on my screen. Oh my. That would be Elizabeth. What is your what is it? Your magic? Oh, my brain just
My
farted.
magic resist?
Magic resist. Yes, thank you.
Aw, man,
magic.
I thought she was paired with the teacher.
Well, Elizabeth is. I mean, Loretta. What is Loretta's magic?
Loretta's resist is 13.
Okay, so
Aw.
it hits. Loretta, it's a very interesting sensation. It runs up your spine, and you feel like something in your mind's being grabbed, as if some little hand just reaches in and tries to pull it right out, and it begins to tug. You can feel it leaving. The phrase, monkeys like, what are they like? They like, poof, and like a rubber band, it snaps back. Monkeys like bananas, as the spell doesn't quite rip it free, the Forget spell. Percy, I'm sorry, what is yours? Your magic
13.
receipts. Oh, same thing. This one's a little stronger. You don't even remember what critter it is. Something like something, something like something. Boom! The rubber band snaps back, and monkeys like bananas. She seems to be really enjoying this, and she says, okay, my turn, because I forget she has to cast now too, right? Let me make sure I know what her magic is. Yes. Okay. Oh no.
Getting ready to get wrecked.
Get ready!
Yeah, out you the teacher.
Eight,
You are
Elizabeth forgets who she is entirely.
6. This will be brilliant. And she says, this is not fair. She even says it out loud. This is not fair for Elizabeth, but everyone watch. Elizabeth, you have the phrase in your mind.
I do.
She says, don't fret. It's not permanent. Okay, so 1 and okay. This is fun. This is so much fun. I don't ever get to roll anything this high. Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Dear, no.
Oh gosh.
Oh my.
Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
Okay.
Ouch.
This is why she's the mentalism teacher. And she just simply says, What eats bananas, Elizabeth? And you feel it, like, you're like, I don't know, the phrase, it's like pouring out of your ear. You can't quite hang on to it.
Fruit bats eat bananas.
She says,
Yeah.
bravo, good job, Elizabeth. And she says, monkeys eat bananas was the phrase. A couple of the other girls are like, that you can see them scratching their heads too as Elizabeth answered. A few of them are like, yeah, monkey, that's what I was gonna say. Even though it was the wrong answer, these girls clearly had their memory wiped. And she says, now forget is not always a long-term effect. Depending on how strong it is, it may in fact dissipate after a short period of time, but it is a really great way to get out of a bind very quickly. And she's like, now for the other side of the room. Flip flop. And she out a new phrase. It runs down the lines. It hits Jess's ear. It hits Percy's, right?
Oh,
Raven's ear. That's right. Raven's ear. And she says, what comes through this time in her voice? This one says, bunnies eat carrots. Bunnies eat carrots is the phrase that you hear in your ear. And she says, now go ahead. Yeah.
Do I pick a phrase for you, or do you tell me the phrase and then I try to erase it from your mind?
It's good. I see what you're saying. She says, Percy, come whisper something in my... Go tell Elizabeth what you're going to tell me.
Okay. Percy kind of walks over and whispers, cats chase mice.
Okay.
And you run over and whisper it in my ear, and she says, very good, Percy. Thank you for your assistance. We both know our phrase now. On the mark of 3... and go. And she gives you the go-ahead to cast on her. So, Elizabeth, you're going to cast on Lee herself, Professor Lee.
Yeah, and I'm going to
Nicely
augment
done.
it. So I'm augmenting my spell so it is resisted by will.
Very nice. Okay.
Because I am showing off.
Yes, I love this. Okay, so, let's see. Eris, what is Raven's magic resist?
13.
All right, that one doesn't quite make it. Sorry, I'm pulling up Roll20 because I can't. It's so tiny on my screen. There it goes. Okay, a 13. That's actually really great, but it doesn't quite hit. You needed a 16, but the 13, Percy, you cast against Jess. Jess, what is your magic resist?
12.
Success for Percy. It again, and it kind of pulls free. She does the same thing, and she asks Jess. She says, "What eats carrots?" That's what I thought. Yeah, she kind of like point made.
And
Would I
Percy
be-
just arms up like dancing.
Elizabeth cast hers last, of course, because obviously she's still got to teach class. Okay, so you rolled a 13. She has a 16. What does the will? Was that
instead of the resist being using her magic die, it uses her will die instead.
Oh no. Okay. This is gonna hit. Yeah, that she rolled the 8 and it's still not enough. She's tough. You can feel it like take hold in her mind, Elizabeth. That same string, literally like Spider-Man pulling in his web. As you begin to rip it free, she kind of stiffens as if it's been a long time since somebody's messed in her mind. She says, looks to Percy, knowing that you're the ref, and for Percy to call out the phrase or question for her to answer.
What chases mice?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. And she says, yes, I knew that. And she kind of lets out a laugh and kind of claps her hands. She says, it's a long time since I forgot something. And this class has just really exhilarated her. The girls kind of clap for Elizabeth. You got the teacher, you know, all in good fun. And she says, now come. Gather round. Take a seat on the floor, grab a pillow if you need one. And she kind of circles you all up. She sits Indian style with you on the floor. And she says, now. Today we've learned that the mind is fragile. You can easily obscure it, change it, manipulate it. This means that it is one of the most dangerous types of magic. Our current witches' society is built off of mentalism magic. We change the entire memory of the world. So what does that mean for us as witches? The responsibility we carry when we learn mentalism.
Have to keep the secret.
Yes, you have to keep the secret. For the sake of all witch kind, of course. And
Right.
and our brethren, meaning kind of and I guess sisterin at large.
But knowing the magic that unlocks a secret or locks it away is part of the responsibility. Now that we know it, it's up to us to help keep it better.
Very good. Anything else? Takeaways from today's class regarding mentalism?
How easy it is to just play with somebody else's mind.
A smile crosses her face. Does anybody have any kind of traits or abilities tied to, like, noticing things?
I guess that would be a sense.
Yeah, a sensory. I'm gonna have you guys roll your sense die.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
I think I've got busybody.
Yeah,
So.
I have.
I have gossip.
I've got here.
Yeah, I got
And
some.
gossip.
What
yeah.
is here? Oh, like here?
Here.
Mentally?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I will... Gossip won't work because you're not actually gossiping about something.
Yeah.
What was the other social one that you threw out, Catherine?
Well, it was just a talent that I was good at getting, but.
Okay, yeah, I would say any kind of, like, sight-based or hearing-based thing you can roll. Everybody else can just roll the basic sense die. Like, you may just roll naturally high enough to get it. So you're gonna roll a sense-based thing. As you say this, Loretta, you say, it means, that the world, that, you can, what did you say? Something about manipulating the world around you, or the...
Well, just how easy it is to play with somebody else.
Play with somebody else's mind, yes. And a strange little, ooh.
I rolled a 6.
Wow, I'm so proud of, man, the break really did you good. That's great.
I mean, in some ways, maybe.
All right. Okay, so here's what we get from this. I would say Jess and, yeah, okay, so Jess and Raven, both of you see it. When Loretta says that, a smile crosses her face, and, both of you had hear, right?
Mhm, yeah.
There's a strange static. That's the only way you can describe it. This kind of, like, crackle of what you might get off of a dead radio, a silent CB radio, or the way, like, a TV, a very low on volume 1 TV might... and the kind of area around her flickers. It shifts. It just, like, it blips, it blurps, it burps, as a computer might. And then everything goes back to normal as she smiles and she says, "Very good, Loretta."
What was that?
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Sometimes I get very excited.
No, after Loretta said that, there was like a weird flicker.
I
like,
nudge you.
sound, yeah.
I'm going to, I'm gonna see if any of the other girls in the room saw it.
Hey.
One other girl in the room, in fact, we'll say, just for the sake of it, it was, Wilma. Wilma, your little, Vespa riding friend, she saw it. You don't know she saw it. You just see her face, and she kind of, like, makes eyes at the both of you as if you all saw potentially the same thing. And she says, Professor Lee says, "I am not exactly sure what you mean, but Loretta has a good point. Sometimes I get excited and fling about." Maybe that's what you saw.
It just kind of like just looks like
Okay.
She kind of looks around as if to assure something's there. She seems rather genuine. It doesn't seem like she's trying to hide anything. She does seem genuine as if she didn't see anything. But she says, but Loretta makes one of the most important points, which is that mentalism magic, it can change what a person experiences, how they experience something, keeping the truth, the reality, from them. There are many ways to do this, but directly affecting the mind is, of course, the most direct and volatile way to intrude upon another witch, another human.
Loretta just pulls Mr. Whiskers into her lap and just starts petting him.
It's a
Kind of
difficult topic, is it not?
It's scary.
It is.
Could
Hmm?
could someone create memories and put them on someone else?
Of course they could. Just like I could change your entire memory of this class. Or what you had for breakfast this morning. Just me. Could you imagine what a coven of witches are capable of doing? An entire council of ancient witches are capable of doing? Mentalism is not meant to be used to harm another. When we use mentalism, it always should come from a place of attempting to correct and keep people safe. Oh, well, and she kind of looks up at the clock. That is all the time we have for today. She says, so please, take your things. Please meet in the auditorium. Miss Aurora Mist would like to speak with all of you. Oh, and don't forget your homework. 10 minutes of meditation every day from now until next class.
Okay.
Okay.
And she says, Toodles.
Bye.
She immediately flips her phone open and is like, boop, boop, boop.
As soon as that happens, Raven grabs Jess's arm and starts rushing out the class to go find a private hallway or abandoned hallway.
Yep.
Something not.
Yeah. You feel like she just gets like yanked with the.
And then Elizabeth grabs Loretta's arm and tries to follow the two of you.
And Loretta is still holding on to Mr. Whiskers as she's being dragged along, and the cat's just yowling.
And Vex is just flying after all of you.
Percy's gathering all her stuff while trying to like see what this cell phone is, and then like realizes about 3 seconds too late that the other girls ran off, and she runs like after them, trying to figure out where they went.
You kind of bustle about, you find, maybe, we'll say there's like a stairwell. There's this nice, there's like big giant stairwells in schools as they like wind up. There's always the lower level has that nook, that hidey hole where everybody goes to like nookie and stuff. That's, where you guys go. Then nobody, maybe there's like one person down here, but they're clearly skipping class and sleeping. Like, passed out.
What was that? Did you see that? You saw that. You definitely saw that. What was
Wait,
that?
you saw something? I heard it.
Yes, it was like, well, it was like a fuzzy feeling and a sound and kind of a.
Then Elizabeth shows up and is like, what? Saw what?
Yeah, bloop.
What
Well,
did you see?
kind of saw, heard, felt. I don't know. It was weird. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, and we've seen
Wait.
weird stuff.
Okay, wait.
Wait, what'd you see? Percy comes like running in,
Barreling.
like, huffing.
Heard static around. Right after Loretta said the last thing to the teacher, I thought it was part of the class, but I don't think it is. I don't think that was part. What?
Okay, so we were just in mentalism class, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
don't like mentalism. This is
Should I try to cast Free Mind on you to see if your memories were altered in any
Yes.
way?
yes.
Yes. Actually,
Okay.
How powerful can you make that?
I can do my best to make it as powerful as possible.
All right,
I don't know.
Yeah,
It
you know
just-
what to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
I give.
So what does it do, Elizabeth, for all of us at home?
Free Mind. This spell undoes any changes to a person's thoughts or memories. It also returns removed memories.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Yep, add +2 to that because Jess is giving you some moral support, and please.
Oh, +2. Oh,
Mhm.
cool. Well, that helps. Mentalism. It's still a 14.
Nice. Okay.
Damn.
It is still a 14. Raven, did you forget the phrase in class? No, you didn't. Yeah, that's right. It didn't take. Okay, so that doesn't come back. You feel the same. Nothing seems to change or shift for you. You kind of feel a little like warmth over your body. Your mind races a little bit, trying to it plays through the morning, but nothing seems altered.
Oh, good.
I can try again when we have more time and maybe do it better. Kind of rushed.
No, that's okay.
Totally not.
I suspect that things might have been taken from me before,
I can
but
I can try again later and see if I can do it stronger and maybe it can affect further back.
When did you say that you saw or heard this thing?
It was during class. It was right after you said that it's really easy to mess with someone's mind.
Okay. And she did also tell us that she could change our memories of that entire class.
Yeah.
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 Do you think she might have done that?
Elizabeth is a little paranoid right now and tries casting Free Mind on herself.
Okay, go ahead.
Is this something they should be?
Don't forget to
teaching
get
us?
rid of your zap points.
Oh, and also the +1s for Raven.
Oh yeah, don't forget that
wait.
too.
I have Zap Happy, so I should be adding another as well.
Oh yeah, if you get zap happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
27?
Damn.
You rolled a 27. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to roll me a will roll, as well.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Do I add anything to it?
Your will die. Oh no, I think we lost Tiffany, and in the perfect laugh moment, she'll be back. But that's hysterical. That
There's
is
even a cat tail in that picture too.
really, yeah. There is a
They
totally a
probably
cat.
can't
I don't think
see
everybody
it
at
on
home can't see
screen,
it, but yeah, we can see it. There is a cat tail.
It's
It looks like the cat like attacked her lap, and it froze mid like cat attack. Okay, so
I'm sending this in the Discord to everybody so she
do a let's see, do a will. It is a will.
Would it be focus?
It's more of a she'll be. I'm hoping she'll be back. It's more of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like you are about to unleash a large amount of very powerful magic. This is to make sure that you stay conscious.
Okay.
So anything that you might, that you think might be able to, there she is, she's back, keep you conscious. So it's less of maybe anything for your body, an athleticism type thing, maybe to keep consciousness, but it's definitely it definitely has to do with your will. So, if you feel like there's
Would
something.
fighting count?
Fighting, you're not really fighting anything or wielding a weapon, not really, This will be an interesting one if this happens. All right.
Focus. I do think focus might.
Okay, I'll give you focus. I don't know how much focus you have, but sure, I'll give you that. You gotta roll really high. I did not expect you to roll 27 on that. That's big time. That's big league.
I didn't either.
That's literally the die being like, no, this is gonna happen. Things happened. She rolled a 27, so that's like stupid high. More importantly, it's not just stupid high. She's about to have to roll a will roll to see if she stays conscious for what magic she's about to break.
Oh no.
At a 12. Okay. Elizabeth, you get paranoid down here under the bottom of this as feet dwindle in the hallway headed towards this assembly that is mandatory for all girls. You you cast this on yourself, and maybe it's because it's on your own body, you're not sure, and you're so very aware of yourself, and you're becoming more aware now that you're hitting puberty. Something is wrong. you are under some kind of spell, held by another person, a mentalism spell, in fact. You don't know by who or who cast it, but you do know that you release it. And when you do, and you rip your body free of this, a slew of things cross your mind. First things first, the first thing that crosses your mind is it's almost like it replays. Walking in the black chamber, you see the dying Medusa, but this time, instead of the chamber being empty, something else happens. There are a fair share of people in black robes there. There's a beautiful woman with long, dark purple hair. She wears a matching robe. You probably know her as Violet. Violet stands there, this deep look in her eye. She quickly waves her hands, as do the cultists, and everything goes like snap black. You come to for a moment, an out-of-body experience, as you overlook the 5 of you laying on your backs in a circle. Your bodies have been placed in a pentagram-type shape using your arms and legs, inside of the same chamber where the body of Aconida lays. You never left that place. At least you're not sure that you are. Cultists stand around you in a circle. For the Highbenders, they seem to be keeping a high level of mentalism magic going, possibly now for weeks. You snap back, but unfortunately a 12 is not enough. And it is an extreme amount of energy that literally shocks you. Your out-of-body experience shows your body kind of going into a convulsion inside of the tomb. And the 4 of you see Elizabeth pass out.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? And she's like Loretta just like fanning her and conjures up some smelling salts and like trying to hold it underneath her nose and.
Yeah, you break out some smelling salts. You crack them. She's breathing, but she's definitely not awake. Elizabeth, you come to. Actually, no. In fact, you do come to, but you come to on the other side of all of this. You're surrounded by about 7 highbenders. The bodies of your sisters lay around you. Your back is wet from an inch of water where you've been laid out. And all of the highbenders point their wands at you, their faces like covered in like hoods and things.
Time stop.
Yeah, okay. Cast time stop. They may cast something against you, but go ahead.
Into a horror game.
No.
This is not supposed to happen till next game!
That's such a good trip.
Oh, I love it so much. Let's see.
19?
19, that's pretty doggone good. Okay, they're gonna try to cast against you. That's really great. Granted, there are lots of them, but we'll see how this goes. That's really, really good. So there'll be a... This is how this one goes. Be hard pressed to beat that. They do not. And you, in a panicked moment, your pulse racing, your blood boiling, cast this out. And the whole room comes into like a slow motion stop.
I'm immediately going to try to teleport us all out of here.
Okay, how many people can you teleport?
My time and space is 6, so I can get all of us.
Okay. All right, great. Go ahead. Let's give that a shot.
And I get +5 because time stop.
Eris is technically, Raven is technically in the room.
Yep.
Technically.
Technically.
Still here.
I added that to my last roll, but like, I get a +5, and I was that.
Okay.
Just so 30.
Wow! Okay, yeah. You scoop up all the girls, a layer of water. You are technically in the tomb, with the body of Aconida, who lays there, as well as the body of the dead Medusa.
No.
She did not survive. You didn't say.
I think I would take the body of Aconida with me.
Okay. Where are you going?
the first place I think of, which is my bedroom back at my dad's house.
Great.
It's a good place.
Okay.
Yes.
The four of your passed out or like locked in place friends' bodies, along with a little bit of water, all pop into your bedroom. The camera cuts hard back into school. The salts do not wake your sister. You've never seen that before. Like, the entire point is to wake somebody with them, and she doesn't budge. Hey, thanks, Grant. So let's see. The bell rings, and of course, it's gonna have to be. Which of your teachers is it? Oh, it's Ursula. Of course, it's Ursula. You finally hear a slight sigh. Ugh. Ladies, this is a required assembly.
We seem to be having a little bit of an emergency, if you don't mind, ma'am. As you can see,
Can you please help us? Our sister's not.
yes, I'm gonna take my sister to the infirmary, if you don't mind. So yeah, Loretta is going to try to shoulder the taller little sister of hers.
I think Percy and Jess are probably helping in the most awkward way possible.
Ursula says, "Ladies," and she claps her hand. Elizabeth's body kind of floats now. Aw, thanks, Grant. It floats just above you, and she says, "I will escort her to the infirmary. The last thing we need is the headmistress mad that you did not make your assembly."
Do you think she really would mind that much when her sister's in trouble?
She
Loretta
looks at
is-
Loretta and furrows her brow, and she says, "Yes, Loretta. In fact, I think she will, considering the fact we have an infirmary for sick witches." She kind of looks at her and she says, "What happened?"
I don't know.
She
passed out.
just passed out.
I see. Well, then I will tell the nurse such. You can visit her after the assembly is done.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you,
think I want
ma'am.
to leave her out of my sight.
No.
No, you guys, we'll go to the assembly. Thank you. And Percy tries to kind of push the girls back.
Okay.
Give us a
And
look.
this
Do you give
way-
us a look like?
Yeah, she gives you
yeah.
guys a look yeah, we're going.
Raven.
We're going
All right.
to the assembly.
Mm-hmm.
Simply.
Yes. Yeah.
And as soon as the teacher kind of starts walking away, Percy pushes us all around a corner and then looks and he's like, "All right, we're totally not going to that
We're
assembly,
not going.
but we're definitely going to get to Elizabeth."
Yes. I got a way I can go.
Okay.
You just see Jess just turn into a wolf.
Okay.
Whoa.
Right in the middle of the hallway. Good thing nobody's around.
Yeah, no one's around.
You transform. You're a little hairier than last time. Every time you transform, you become just a smidge more like the beast.
Yep. She just kind of nudges her clothes at whoever's closest.
Raven
Carry-
grabs them.
Carry this for me.
Okay.
Why do you need to be a wolf right now? I don't understand.
She's faster. She just runs. She looks, cocks her head toward the direction of the infirmary and just takes off.
No, we were supposed to sneak.
Yeah.
She's sneaky. She's just faster though.
Okay,
Okay, okay.
that's fine. I'll just carry her clothes. And if anybody asks, Jess is just running around naked or something.
She
Yeah, that's normal.
You probably have a backpack or a side pack you can put it in.
Here, just put it in my bag.
Okay.
Raven doesn't take a backpack. What are you talking about?
Loretta carries her bigger bag everywhere.
Yeah, Percy
Yeah,
also
so-
has hers. No, surely, oh, I don't know if I'm not sure if I have quite mastered the invisibility spell, but I can try.
Okay.
Oh dear.
It's one rank higher of illusion magic than I technically have, but I can try
Okay.
to
Um,
do it.
I can try invisibility on myself.
Oh, okay,
Do it on yourself. And
yeah,
Loretta, are you good at sneaking?
Well, I guess I can just always make up something if they happen to catch us. don't get me wrong.
We-
I'm all for following the rules, but last time we let a sister out of our sight, she came back like that.
That's not her.
No.
I
No.
don't care what they say.
Okay.
I'm not
so
taking any chances.
We're sneaking.
Okay.
Let's try invisibility first, and if we can't make it work, we'll figure something out. If all else fails, we can make wigs and be different. I don't know.
You're witches. You can dress any way you like.
I know, but invisibility.
Got it. Check. Invisibility. Yes, of course.
I know. Loretta conjures up some hall passes.
There you go.
Oh, I mean, fine. Okay, let's go.
Sounds good.
And let's go. You do. All right. So it does look like Ursula takes Elizabeth straight to the infirmary. So there's nothing weird about that. Like, she levitates the body all the way up and around the corner. Who's sneaking? Because we are going to need some kind of stealth check that will use your body die plus anything that you have to being stealthy.
I feel like we should sneak even with the hall passes, kind of like a preemptive don't get caught.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is conjuring the hall passes?
Loretta.
All right, Loretta. You roll to see how good these hall passes are.
Okay.
You can conjure them, but we got to see like how good are these hall passes.
All
How
right.
could
Let's hope I roll well.
remember the spell for later? These hall passes.
That's a spell now. Instant hall passes. That is if I can find my darn character sheet.
Instant hall pass. Bing.
I get a +1 for the Raven effect.
Mm-hmm.
So that's +12.
Nicely done.
Oh.
Yeah, they are
Nice.
good hall passes. Either
She
you
is-
have
she's
all
a hall
asked for
pass.
many a hall pass, yeah, but these are legit. Like, they come out and you're like, dang! As if Aurora mispopulated it herself.
But see, the thing is, though, is that we've gotten called to Miss Mist's office so often, we probably could draw it in our sleep.
That's true. Oh well. We have
Well, Loretta nailed it, but for anybody that wants to stealth, please do so.
Okay. Can I add my hearing to it?
For your stealth,
Yeah.
you can add not for your stealth. You can. Yes, it may not make you sneakier, but you'll hear somebody coming. That's how I'm gonna treat that.
Yep, that's how it's like. Just make sure that people aren't. All right, so.
Yeah,
Hey, I rolled max on the dice.
nice, very nice. Loretta, I have to ask you, who signed your hall passes? Which teacher?
Oh, goodness.
'Cause-
This one likes us other than Aurora.
the cybermancy teacher likes us.
Nice.
Yes. Yes, she totally signed them.
Okay. The cybermancy teacher, that's Susan, right? Susan Croft? Yeah. Susan Croft, yeah, she likes you guys. She's my Elwood's character.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. All right. You all do okay. It looks like Jess is the only one that's really sneaky enough.
Just a sneak snuck out of like.
Yeah, plus you're in
way.
full-on wolf form. But that being said, some of that is for your hearing, not your actual stealth. So you guys creep Scooby-Doo style down the hallway.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, a
Scooby-Doo.
6. Yeah, you guys creep Scooby-Doo style down the hallway, one by one in a little line, kind of come around the corner and peek your head around. It is, of course, Nina Sanchez, who is in the infirmary. She's the healing teacher. She also deals with all the herbalism and stuff. So she is there. You can see she's got her hands. She's running them over Elizabeth's body that now lays on the center of the table. She doesn't stop what she's doing, but she does simply say with her back to you, I know you're there.
Hi. Percy walks in, like clearly holding the hall pass up. If we're allowed.
You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, but we have these hall passes.
Oh, hall passes.
Yes.
She grabs him and looks at him. She says, great. Crumples him, tosses him in the trash. Okay.
Oh, all right. Have you had a chance to examine her yet?
She kind of is running her hands. Yes, I am currently examining her.
Oh, okay.
Seems like she is fine. May have had a bump to the head when she fell.
But why did she fall?
I'm still trying to figure that out. She kind of laughs.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, we should probably go back to the assembly now. And Raven kind of like tries to pull them back out of the room.
I'm staying here.
And she goes, "Oh, I know what's wrong." And walks right over to a cabinet and pops it open. There are a bunch of vials and things and stuff. And she pulls out a liquid, and she says, "This ought to do the trick." She walks right over to Elizabeth's mouth. She opens it up. She dumps it in. And Elizabeth sits right up.
Oh. Oh, Elizabeth, you're okay. Are you okay?
Elizabeth nods.
That's not.
Okay, let's go to the assembly then. And Percy kind of holds her hand out.
Elizabeth, well, yeah, Elizabeth seems amenable to everything that you suggest and goes along with no fight.
Okay.
This Elizabeth.
Thank you, Miss Sanchez. We'll take our sister now.
She's great. I can go to the assembly. Is that where you're headed? You should go there now.
Yes.
That's exactly where we're going. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you. And Percy kind of links her arm with this Elizabeth and starts walking.
Great. Are you guys going to the assembly?
No.
We're gonna go. Where are you going? Okay, you're going to your room.
It's the safest place to talk.
Okay. On your way, there are a few straggling girls that Ursula Scratch has pulled from various places, the girls' restroom and things like that. And she says, come. One of them is Ashley.
Oh.
Ashley.
Should we wait to Ashley? Should we just keep going?
Just keep going. Woof.
Just keep going. Okay. We're gonna just keep going.
You guys keep going. Ashley, again, is amenable to Ursula Scratch, and she as she follows her in towards the auditorium. You guys find solace in your room. It's quiet.
Okay, Elizabeth, how are you feeling?
Great.
Nothing else?
What happened?
Elizabeth kind of does what Elizabeth does. Probably feeds a familiar. She says, I just felt funny.
Well, what did you do that made you collapse? What did you do right before?
I was just, thinking about whatever happened in class. Ignore my fire alarm going off in my kitchen. Somebody's cooking dinner, clearly. That's the giant literal metaphor for the burning trash fire that is this situation.
What were we talking about? What was the last thing you remember that we were talking about?
Oh, she talks about class and all that kind of stuff, and then she just kind of says, the memory loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling perfectly fine. That's great.
I'm feeling great. She kind of goes over and she says, "I'm going to study now."
Okay.
Okay. That sounds good.
And she kind of goes to her book and begins studying, just as Elizabeth would.
As soon as she turns her back, Raven just motions.
Did you see, Jess just came back from the bathroom with her clothes. Like, is she...
Right, Elizabeth? We're gonna go to the assembly now. Are you good here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't leave this room unless you have to go to the bathroom or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. She agrees with everything and is extremely, like I said, amenable seems to be the word of the day. She seems to do everything that you want. More importantly, if you think about it hard enough, the things that you know Elizabeth to do are the things she's doing.
Okay.
So every time you're like, Elizabeth, in your mind's eye, every time you're like, Elizabeth wouldn't do that, she would, then Elizabeth shifts and does that thing.
Oh.
Elizabeth doesn't write with her right hand; she writes with her, and Elizabeth switches hands.
Oh, I don't like this.
Okay. We all kind of leave the room, and I feel like before we don't even go anywhere. We just close the door. We all turn to each other. That's not Elizabeth.
No, it's not.
Okay.
All right, so we were talking about how, and she just kind of looks around to see if there's anyone in the hallway that could probably be.
It's empty at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
So we were
Brenna?
talking about. Yes.
How much do you trust me?
Totally.
With my life.
I'm gonna try something on you. And I'm kind of afraid what will happen, but if anything happens to you, I'll heal you immediately, I promise, okay?
What are you doing? What are you gonna do?
It's all right, Raven. I
I-
believe in you.
I'm gonna see if I can break any spells on her.
Okay.
Okay.
On me?
Yes. On your mind?
Okay.
My mom had a hard time teaching me the right spells when I was a kid, so I learned how to break them because I kept messing them up. So, I'm actually kind of good at that.
Okay.
But I was thinking maybe if I tried to break a spell on your mind, and if there isn't one, then there's nothing to break, right? But if there is one and I break it, then you might fall over too.
All right. Well, tell you what. If something happens and I
But
fall
it-
over,
I don't know what.
okay. The code word is Melinda. Code word is Melinda.
Melinda.
If I don't know what you're talking about and I come to, then you know it's not me.
Okay. I'm gonna just be prepped to help in case healing is needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been practicing that spell too, but I've been practicing breaking spells. I noticed Elizabeth using that a lot, and it was really useful.
Raven?
So I've been trying.
Raven, Laura just kind of takes her by the shoulders. I trust you, okay? I believe in you. You can do this.
Raven, you got this.
Yes.
Dude.
Okay. All right. And I will try to break any spell that I tangibly can on Loretta's mind at the ritual.
Okay.
With the +2 as well.
So you'll get a +2 first off. This is gonna be your magic die
Okay.
plus your casting
Mhm.
plus anything you have in mentalism.
I also have Spellbreaker.
Oh, okay, that'll work.
That is specifically
Yeah, that'll work.
what I was thinking.
Plus
of.
Spellbreaker, okay. Yeah, and
Okay.
anything that you gain from Spellbreaker, and then your regular -1 for being a jinx.
So that's +3 plus 3 for Spellbreakers. That's 6 plus another 3 for casting if I include my -1. So that's +9.
It's gonna have to be high. A 16, that's pretty
Nice.
good.
Oh my. Nice.
It's
Nice.
really good. You kind of put hands on Loretta. Loretta, you feel something, this energy pass over you, and you can feel inside of your mind. It's like watching a window pane begin to crack and shatter. It starts from a single point where Raven has kind of pinned, and it begins to kind of, but it doesn't shatter and break through. You can feel that there is something there. She's let you know it. It was more than Elizabeth's original attempt at trying to break the magic, which lets you know that there is something cast on you, but you can't tell what, by who's controlling it, and the magic that she cast is not strong enough to break it.
So.
And
am
you
I
kind of
still
come
present?
back too. Yeah, you're totally present.
All right,
You okay?
What do you feel?
Melinda.
Okay.
No. I did see something. There is a spell. There's something that's. And she just describes what she just saw.
Yeah, the visual representation was like shattering glass, but it's almost as if your mind is in a box. It's like trapped in some way.
So,
Think all of us have this?
I don't know.
well, maybe except for Elizabeth.
Maybe that means she's on.
She tried casting a spell before she left, right?
Yeah.
She tried casting the what's it called? Oh,
The mental. She tried. Yeah, she tried to break what was in her mind,
Her
or what she thought might be in
to
her mind.
free her mind.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
So it
So-
worked. Do you think?
probably.
Maybe.
Our magic's not strong enough for it to work for the letter. She might have been the only one who could do it.
Well, if she's out, maybe she might be able to help us.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that can get the rest of us out, it's Elizabeth.
And you
What do
creak
we
the.
do?
I was about to say you creak the door open when you say her name, as to kind of gesture to her, and the Elizabeth that was sitting there studying is gone.
Oh no, where'd she go?
Maybe she went to the bathroom.
Well, we were standing
We're
outside
right
the door.
here. Like, we didn't hear anything.
True.
If she got free, if her mind got free, maybe it just took a while for the version of her that's in here to disappear too. Because
I don't think that's right.
if she's not trapped here as well, no.
But the thing is that, with Sanchez, she gave her something to make her just talk.
You guys can roll a mind die if you would like maybe some tips or hints. I can try to fill in some of the blank spots because you guys are like you're hitting all the points. You just haven't connected
Oh.
lines yet.
I mean, I think I know what happened. I don't think Loretta does though.
Okay.
Simply because yeah. We haven't seen what Elizabeth's seen.
Mm-mm.
So just straight up mind die.
Yeah, just a flat mind die, or I mean, if there's any kind of memory that you have, like an eidetic memory type thing.
+1.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I know what I'm gonna do.
I rolled a 0.
You don't get it. You don't get it.
No, I don't
I'm
get it.
actually going to cast a divination spell.
Okay.
It's called No Answer, where
Great.
she should be able to
Okay.
uh,
fine.
correctly answer any question that's asked of her. So,
Okay. So somebody's gonna ask you a question.
yes.
So go ahead and cast it.
Okay.
We'll see how strong it is, and see if you can answer it. Because basically, what's gonna happen is you become a vessel for like the all-knowing to pass through you and
The
answer a
cosmic-
question.
Consciousness, yes.
Yeah.
Where did Elizabeth go?
Let's go.
She's gone. She's gone forever. It's never gonna.
So yeah,
We're
your
here.
magic die, you're casting anything that you
Yeah.
have, and you said divination.
Yeah, so it's B plus 11. Becoming more and more high powered.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, at a
all right.
16.
So, okay. I need you guys to ask me what something what that relates to this. What question do you think?
Where did Elizabeth go? Maybe? Anything?
Cats are good.
That was the question.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's the question. Where did Elizabeth go? Okay, that's the question. You ask, where did Elizabeth go? In your hesitation, Loretta, you watch as Loretta's body stiffens. Her head like hits that perfect point on her spine, and she just begins to speak out loud. Elizabeth was never actually here. Elizabeth's body is in a separate plane of existence. You are currently in a connected mind bind, in a spell that. Make sure I get this right. In a spell that creates your current universe based on your mental knowledge of a place. Better known as a daydream spell. You have been in this 6 months.
Just like yells.
Elizabeth, and it says Elizabeth is no longer here. She has broken from the circle.
How do we break through? Break out?
You ask Loretta this. Loretta, again, stiffens and begins to answer. A very high mind breaker or a spell should do it. But considering that this has been cast by Echinida herself, it is not an easy one.
Oh, great.
No.
Is that the only
If we combined our talents, if we combined all of our powers, can we break ourselves out together? Is it possible?
Loretta stiffens. Anything is possible when you put your mind to it.
It's mind over matter, of course.
That explains the static. Oh no.
There we go. Let's
All right.
go back in the room where we have
Okay.
our
Your pentagram's on the floor.
pentagram.
A
Yes,
powerful plan.
and
Yeah, we have that. Like,
Let's
just put
set
that spell
information.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, let's set information. Let's form a circle in the middle and try to cast all at the same time together.
Yes. Okay.
Can we cast all of us together on all of us at the same time?
Loretta stiffens. You sure can try.
Mind over matter, right?
Yeah.
And
all we
I
have.
am so smart.
that's all we have. Mind over matter, that's all we have. And you guys walk into the room to take your places in your circle. The door clicks, and as it does, the camera shifts to Elizabeth, who now stands in her bedroom. You have 5 bodies on the floor, one of which is not is also in a comatose state, that of Echinida. She sits there, very old and kind of crusty. Your sisters are breathing, but they don't seem to come to, Elizabeth. More importantly, your house is quiet, very quiet.
Oh gosh. I imagine Elizabeth's body is just shaking really hard from the shock of this, and she immediately just starts fumbling around in her bag and pulls out the sword she was given and immediately starts to trying to carve a protection circle into the floor.
Sure.
And she just, tears streaming out down her cheeks, just starts screaming for her dad, hoping that he's there.
Yeah, Dad, you're screaming and you're carving the circle into this wooden floor. Thank you for that follow. And all we hear is the sound of a blade digging into ancient wood. There is a moment where your voice almost gives as you yell for your father, and you yell and you yell and you yell for him. There is no response. Do you have a butler, don't you?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you begin to cry thinking that this is an endless, opportunity or possibility, and finally you hear someone coming up the stairs, slow, steady. They don't seem to be answering the panicked call of your voice, and the door creaks open, and you hear your butler. Mr. Toss.
Elizabeth sort of jumps back and has the sword out, but she's so shaky
He
that
puts
she
his
ends
hands
up
up.
dropping it.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, he puts his hands up, he goes, you can see there's a moment of shock, and his brow furrows, and then his eyes get big, and he says, Lady de Toss! And he runs over and throws his arms around you and hugs you, and he picks you up, and he says, we thought you were gone, we thought we had lost you, and he kind of puts you down, and he looks around at the situation, the protection circle, your sisters, and he says, Elizabeth, where have you been?
Elizabeth just starts sobbing uncontrollably and can barely get any words out.
He goes, shh, it's
Like,
okay, it's okay.
Hi, Benders. It was a spell. And where's Dad?
He goes, your father is... Your father has left for the front line.
What?
A lot has happened since you left. Or disappeared, Mr. Toss. I think you would do right to sit down.
She just sits down right on the floor.
He kind of looks at you up and down. He goes, my God, you hit your growth spurt. You look great. I mean, you look, like a woman, Mr. Toss.
My clothes don't fit.
Yeah. Everything's a little too short. And he kind of sits you down and he hugs you, and he holds your hand, and he says, who is that? And he points to Echinida on the floor.
That is the body of Akanita, I didn't know what to do.
He
so
like
I brought
covers
it.
he covers your mouth as soon as you say your name, and he grasps you really tight and close, and he says, "Do not speak her name. It summons her child."
Oh no. Did she?
And he walks over to your bedroom window and he pulls back a very thick drape, showing you what is on the outside. And oh my goodness, thank you. Showing you what's on the outside, and you see it for the first time. The sky is scorched, a reddish color, as if it was a sunset, but instead it bleeds. The sun itself lets off these deep umber rays, and the light seems dim all across. Everything in your yard is dead. No plants seem to live under this light. And what was probably once a bustling, like, through road near this area is also now dead here in the world of the witches. Population seems to either be gone or partially missing. And it seems to be strewn with a heavy laden burden. And he says, "Mr. Toss, she has already risen in the body of somebody else."
Do you know if Scion is on her side or not?
Scion, he smiles. I was asked to stay here in case you came home. The rest of the family has left. I know nothing of a Scion.
I need to try to wake my sisters.
He says, he goes, shh, and he kind of grabs your hands. He says, you should rest first.
No, they need to be awake. I took them away from the people that were holding us. I don't know what will happen if we just leave them.
He says, all right. How can I help, Mr. Toss?
I need food. I haven't eaten in 6 months.
Oh, he says, I haven't been able to serve anyone in 6 months. And he kind of claps his hands as if he would love nothing more in the whole world. And he says, I'll be back with your favorite. And he bustles downstairs to make whatever it is your favorite. Maybe I don't know, peanut butter and bumbleberry sandwich.
Mac and cheese with chunky peanut butter mixed in.
Done mac and cheese with chunky peanut butter, and he brings you your favorite dish. He makes it rather quickly, considering the fact it's mac and cheese, and he brings it back and he says, eat. He says, I'm not sure I understand, Mr. Toss. You were here, and then you just didn't come back.
Yeah, it took a while. Elizabeth, like, while he was going to make food, Elizabeth was continuing to carve the circle into the floor and try to make a full, like, circle that would...
Yeah, you successfully do so.
Okay. And she is going to immediately try to spell break.
All right. Are you going to do this one at a time, or are you going to try to roll high enough to do everybody at once?
One at a time.
Okay. All right. So we'll start. You've laid them all out. Obviously not Akanita's body, but
No.
go ahead and roll it up. First one?
She's gonna start with Raven.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't forget your +1. Her body is in the room.
Yeah.
In the area. Oh.
Sister.
This is really not how I saw tonight's episode going. This is very exciting.
I don't see this going this way either.
Oh
No.
my gosh.
Okay, so casting plus spell breaking plus 1. Okay. Plus I get another from my wand.
Yeah, don't forget. Yeah, you use your wand.
Would the circle give me anything?
I would say it is some kind of binding circle. Sure, I'd take it. You can add a +1 for the circle.
Okay, good.
Yeah, take another +1. Why not? Here we go.
23.
Woo! Okay. Here's what happened. Raven, you gasp forward, sitting, your backside is wet. You're sitting on the floor, your sisters have passed out around you, you're staring at Elizabeth, her butler, who you know, and you're in her bedroom. Percy, Jess, and Loretta, the camera cuts. You guys sit down to start your circle. Put your hands inside of one another. You close your eyes to concentrate. Jess and Loretta, you're the ones on either side of Raven holding her hand. And as you guys begin to concentrate to cast the spell, her hands disappear. And when you open your eyes out of the concentration, she's gone.
Did we do it?
Wait,
Did we? She's gone. She's gone.
where's
Well,
Raven?
I.
maybe
Did we?
Elizabeth.
Did any of you cast anything? Did?
No.
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 Oh, okay. Oh.
Well, either Elizabeth on the, I guess, outside, got Raven, or something terrible happened.
Yeah. I want to think about the first before.
Yeah, okay. Well, all we can do
Want to be able to
is
get- yeah.
try,
Try
right?
again.
So,
Okay.
Try
again.
again. All right, you guys scoot your circle in ever closer. You're like, okay, maybe we don't close our eyes this time. You guys grab hands. I'm gonna give you a chance to cast together, so you will get a +2. So whatever, who has the highest magic die?
I have a
I
D10.
have to do that as well, but yeah, it's gonna be. I
Okay,
think,
I'm gonna let each of you roll with a +2 on top of your casting bonus. And in this case, this would be spell breaker unless you're trying to do mind breaker.
I don't have any of those.
casting. So plus casting.
So plus
Okay.
casting then, so just your magic die plus casting +2 for the other ladies in the group. Everybody roll, and I'm gonna take an average of your rolls because I think
Person got a 9.
yeah, thanks. Oh yeah, you just missed the the big reveal that was not supposed to come until next game. Nicely done.
Oh, thank goodness for you two.
Nicely done. Okay, that might actually be enough. That brings you guys down. Okay. You guys are like, oh, please, 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 please. All right, camera cuts as you cast this spell. Elizabeth, would you like to do it again?
Yes.
Okay. You do it once more.
Raven, we're spell breaking. I'll explain later. Come on.
Okay. No. We just figured it out. We were just trying to do. We're probably freaking out. Okay, let's. Here. Hold my hands. I'll help you.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and cast again, Elizabeth. Don't forget your +1. And since
I'm
she's
not
helping you,
forgetting
you
any
get a
pluses.
+1.
Everything.
I was about to say, you're going to be literally zapped of zap points by the time this is over with.
24.
Damn,
Done.
nice.
Next roll comes through. Who do you release? Who are you casting it on?
Jess.
Jess, you guys, like, open your eyes, like, did it work? And Jess is gone. Loretta and Percy, you guys sit down across from each other, alone in your room.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I don't know if that was us or not. Should we try it again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Is that still with a +2 or?
Just +1 now. There's only one extra
Okay,
person in the
so
circle.
That's a -1 to the one I just rolled.
Yeah. Same.
Nicely
Okay, so-
done. You guys are like, oh, please, 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 please. You guys go to cast again. So does Elizabeth on the other side in the real world. Go ahead, Elizabeth. Try again. I love this so much.
2.
Okay. Who do you cast it on?
Percy.
Percy. Oh, no!
Oh no!
You look and open your eyes after having cast the spell, Loretta, and you stand in the room all by yourself. It's just you and Mr. Whiskers. Jess, you sit up. Percy, fastly after you guys are damp on your backside, you're sitting there with all your sisters. Econita's body lays next to you, and so does Loretta's. Let's do it again. Loretta, are you going to try to cast it one more time by yourself?
Oh God, she's probably like bawling at the.
I know! I felt so bad for her!
She's all alone. But yeah, I guess like that's just a regular roll at this point.
It's just a flat roll, yeah.
Okay, you can do this. You can do this.
Hold Mr. Whiskers, pause.
You're like, through the sobbing and the panic, it's just, you're like, I don't know. Elizabeth, one more time.
Elizabeth is looking like really
Haggard.
exhausted.
I was about to say,
I can
Help, please, help.
I can-
Spell breaking. This.
can do it, I can-
Explain after.
every girl that takes
Help.
part in the circle, you can add a point for.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
It's
we're
been
all
helping
helping.
Yeah, help
up.
in here.
I was about to say, you can also, I would say, if you don't want to add it to the roll, one of the things that I've thought about doing, and we can play with this idea now, is that you actually use their zap points. So if you're out of zap points and you combine hands, you actually draw their magic out to cast.
I'm not quite out yet.
Okay,
but-
okay, so you can just add it to the
No,
roll.
no, hold on. Raven would have been giving you that points if I knew that could have been a thing because
something
you're
I'm-
way better at that points. I'm just here to be a good luck charm.
So that was something I was thinking about when we took our little break, so that may be something we instilled this
Oh.
season.
Oh, wait, I
Yeah.
am Zap Happy too.
Yeah, so if somebody gets zap happy, all the help, we need all the help!
Yes.
This'll be it.
Oh my
Does she
God.
make it?
31.
Yes. yes.
All of you grab hands around Loretta's body that lays on the floor. The butler stands in the corner watching, holding his breath. Elizabeth casts this last one. Loretta, you're sobbing to yourself. Mr. Whisker sits at your feet, and you feel this warmth come over your body as when you kind of gasp for air as you sit forward, and when you open your eyes, you're no longer in your dormitory. You're in Elizabeth's bedroom at her house. All your sisters sit there in a circle around you, holding hands. They clearly have just cast magic and broke whatever it is. As the five of you sit in this room, together, in a circle, as a coven, the Hex Scouts, looking out over a barren area of this beautiful lush yard that used to be the Detas estate. The sky is scorched red. Aconita's body in the room, a constant reminder that this physical form no longer holds her mind. Just as your current physical forms have finally regained its mind.
Loretta just basically wakes up, sees Elizabeth, and just like wraps her arms around her and is just
I
holding,
think it's just one
like-
big group
I
hug.
think everyone's
Yeah.
just, like so upset.
crying.
Like Kyle.
The camera
I lost you.
Aw. As you sling your arms around each other in a giant hug, the butler also has to get in on that. He has been quite lonely himself. As you comfort one another in a time of confusion and desperation. As the camera pans out over the house, as it does so, you see that looks like the estate must have been part of some battle. The backyard is scorched black from fire. There have been barricades that have been put up around the garden. And as the camera continues to pan out, you see that this seems to be the case all across the witch's world. Not the mundane world, but the witch's world. As we are now at war, Aconita walks this plane in a new body, but with her mind. And that is where we're going to end today's episode of Witch Girl Adventures. Our premiere episode. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's a bit dusty in here.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, what a premiere!
Oh my
Yes. Hey, Wiley, you came just in time for us to close everything out. So first off, I'm going to just quick say a big thank you for those of you who tuned in, even for those of you that came in seriously late. Don't worry. There's going to be a VOD up right here on Twitch right after this, and then you'll be able to catch it over on YouTube sometime this week, in fact. So make sure that you do that. Definitely better late than never. We had quite an eventful first episode. We did do a nice recap at the top, so anybody that missed last season, don't fret. We gave you the must needs to know to hop right into this season. Which is gonna get crazy. If it hasn't
Already
already.
gone crazy.
Nobody was supposed to know that you were in a mind prison until next episode. Good job ruining it for me, ladies.
Happy birthday, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
Yeah, happy birthday, Elizabeth. All right, let's go around to these lovely, awesome ladies. You guys tell us who you are, where we can find you online, maybe what you're busy doing. And we're going to go backwards this time, so we're going to start with Eris.
Hello, I am Eris Savad. I am a hula hooping seamstress who plays way too many RPGs. Just kidding. There's no such thing as way too many RPGs.
Not on this channel, there's not.
No, never. What was the other question?
What are you busy doing?
Playing too many RPGs. I don't know what did.
Awesome.
I hula hoop. I play RPGs. I stream sometimes when I make awesome dice bags and trays for everybody. You can find my stuff and the things that I'm doing on erisavad.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at eris_Savad. That's where I put all of my random stuff. That's the best, most active place for me. So yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Okay,
And
awesome.
my favorite part of the day today was every single girl had a moment where it was just them being the most them that they could be, and I absolutely loved that.
Yeah.
Oh, and you just pulled the rug out from all of us.
Yes.
You know, that happened too, I guess.
No big deal. We can talk about that later. It's fine. It's fine. I was like, okay, so you guys should know when I started writing all of this up, I actually looked at my boyfriend. I was like, do you think they're going to hate me? I was like, do you think if I do this, they're going to be really mad at me? And he's like, do you care? And I was like, not really.
We could never hate
He
you.
was like, not really. I'm just going to drop the bomb on him. It's fine. Awesome. Moving right along, Catherine, you're up next. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and I really like that. What was there something today that you really liked about today's episode?
My name's Catherine Barsonistas. I run The Gluttonous Geek. It's a nerdy food blog with recipes inspired by video games, movies, television shows, blah, blah, blah.
Yay,
and
fandom!
role-playing games. Yes. So I also run a channel here on Twitch where I do a weekly cooking show called Munchies and Minis, where I make a tabletop-inspired snack and then work on painting a mini. Actually, tomorrow I'm pretty excited because I'm going to have my first guest on Munchies and Minis, Katie Downey from the D4 Podcast.
Nice!
Joining me as we make some kind of an apple peach rose petal cobbler inspired by Shantae from Dungeons & Dragons.
Nice!
Yes, and also working on surviving Dragon Con because I'm writing the press releases this year. Yay!
Yay! You're nailing it.
Well, I'm trying. And my favorite part of the game tonight was once again like having everything ripped down from underneath us. Because the thing is, you guys don't actually see it. All this behind the scenes stuff that we do for this game. I mean, the Twitter thread between our group is just ridiculously long. Kika was having Elizabeth writing us letters from the break to each of our characters, and we were responding back.
Which I loved. But you know what's crazy? It's not that it's so weird, right? Because it's not that those things didn't happen. They happened in all of your minds. You did share these like mind memories. Your physical body just didn't do it. So it's kind of a messed up thing because you did actually share those things. All of it.
Do I have my skyboard?
Oh no!
No.
No.
That was part of your birthday present, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I would say yes, because it's what you wanted, right? So the idea is that the memory manifests everything that you all see. It's built around your collective consciousness. So you probably wanted it for your birthday, which means knowing your birthday was coming up, your dad probably bought one, which means, yes, there's one in the house, but it never got opened. So you're going to get to open it a second time.
But I am noticing once again, like I made this joke a while back, going, okay, like everyone else, don't do the thing. Toadstool, shall we do the thing?
We definitely.
And we're just I'm gonna do the thing.
Do the thing!
And Kika's like, I'm gonna save you from the thing.
Nice.
So
It's just so good.
yes, it's man, it's a great start.
Yep. I genuinely did not expect Kika to roll like a 26 or Elizabeth to roll a 26 to break that. I was like, well, Dot, you can't deny the die. You gotta let that be what it is. So, speaking of Kika, Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and something about today's game that you liked.
Hey, I'm Kika. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/KikaVO. I'm mostly up to, or been focusing on getting some inclusivity panels together for PAX West, which you can check out if you happen to be there. I'm doing 3 panels, one on lore and Dungeons & Dragons, specifically pertaining to Baldur's Gate Descent to Avernus, which is coming out. We have some really good panelists on that, covering a lot of lore there. I have another one on transgender narratives in tabletop gaming, which I have been running at every single PAX that I've been attending to this past year. And another one on queer world building with a focus on non-European traditions, which is very exciting. I have amazing panelists for that, and I hope that turns out well. I'm very nervous, but hopefully everything goes great.
It will. It will.
Yeah.
I feel it.
I'll relax afterwards.
Yeah, me too. Awesome. And today's game. How you feeling?
Oh gosh, that was a lot. Thank you very much for cutting away from Elizabeth after she teleported home, because if you hadn't, I probably would have actually started crying.
I know. I was like, we're gonna just like take a moment. Everybody breathe.
I
had a plan for like feeding this to you slowly, but today was just a rip the rug out.
Yeah, just tear off that bandage.
Just like.
We didn't save the last Gorgon.
I'm so
That was the only good thing that we said we had from last.
I know! You guys said that. I'm sure if you cut back and look at the VOD, you guys said that and you'll see me like... trying to like hide my face.
Well, we screwed up everything else, but at least we saved the... Oh, no, we didn't.
No.
Cool.
I tried.
I liked that Elizabeth was spell breaking them out one by one while they were trying to come out, and basically kind of creating like a weird, like, almost horror situation.
Yeah.
They aren't sure what's going
on. It really, so because their bodies were there, and their minds were still trying to break free, that I was kind of giving bonuses to you to break them out, like every time they rolled successfully. The only one that I think was the last one with Loretta, but you rolled a 31, so says the screen, so like I can't deny you a chance to break her out at a 31. So anyways, very cool. Shauna.
Hey, Shauna Noxelli Flying Cirrus on Twitter. Do you have art and pin tweet with all my games that I'm going playing through next month? I'm so happy because Elizabeth is my one good character, so I am very happy she's back because there's been a lot of evil characters.
And Jess is your character. Jess, your character.
Oh,
Yeah.
we do
You
that.
said Elizabeth by accident.
Sorry.
Oh, we're all glad Elizabeth's here, or
I'm
we'd still be
brain-
in
my
mind
brain-
prison.
That is true, though. That was not a lie.
My brain is like... But yeah, this is great. I look forward to like some Witch Girl art forthcoming, which I was looking at the very end, it's like, oh, it's so happy compared to what's happening right now. So
Nice.
But yeah, I love
You
that.
put some angry faces on them instead.
Just make the sky red now. So
Yeah.
Or it could just be from the break. All
Yeah.
our happy memories from this break.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that everyone kind of like banded together to get everyone out, like support and stuff like that.
Do you know what I love today? When push came to shove, all of you were like, get it done. There was
Yeah.
no goofing off. You're like, we don't trust her. Don't you leave that body in that room alone.
Yeah, I love one of my favorite things in RPGs is just getting like the rug pulled from under you. So this was wonderful. Jess
Good.
hates it,
Good.
but, like, I love it.
Our characters are so traumatized.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So
Oh my
traumatized at this
We're
point,
gonna
yeah.
need so much therapy.
You know what? I'm honestly kind of super glad that Jess was not the last one out. That would have freaked out.
Oh, well, poor Loretta.
Oh no, I think it fit her perfectly because after losing her mother and then like basically your mother disappearing with that whole illusion spell,
Yeah.
it's like now everyone's gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh no.
Yep. Oh,
But then you came right back and you were right in our arms and we were all there. And
yeah, the
everything
group
was
hug was so
fine.
sweet.
There's a evil corpse next to us.
Group
It's
hug
okay.
was so sweet.
Well, I've got a theory
I
about
already have.
I can't say anything yet.
I already have a theory too.
Oh, you have a theory? There are all... Okay, well. Anything else, Shauna, before we move over to Tiff?
Oh no, that's it.
Tiff, tell us who you are.
I am Tiffany. You can find me on podcasts and sewing on the internet. I'm on North by North Quest with Dot, who plays with me. I just finished up GMing over there. And we're about to get into a lot of really intense shenanigans there as well. Courtesy.
Have we announced? We haven't announced things yet, have we?
It's coming. So
Okay.
when the volume's officially released.
Got it. Okay, I'll
The mic is officially released. We have like announcements there. So we won't spoil anything. But
no spoilers.
it's all recorded, so it just has to come out to you. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere as RTS Cosplay. It's Rattle the Stars Cosplay. I'm working on the last bit for Dragon Con myself right now, so that's very fun.
Yeah.
And today, I think, obviously I agree with everybody about the craziness that is this, but I think one of my favorites was our broom race against a local witch gang. And I really want girl gang jackets that say like the toadstools on them.
Love
Yes.
it. Like with like a
Yes.
big mushroom on the back, like
Yeah.
magic mushroom.
Yeah, a mushroom with a witch hat on it, like the pink lady's jacket. but it's
Yeah,
a
but
toad.
like, yeah, I love
I
that.
want
I
it
knew
so
it. I knew
bad.
it.
I love that. All right, I.
Going back,
Oh no.
pulling the rug out. When
Something about pulling the rug out. That's all I got, Eris. Say that again.
I said, speaking of pulling the rug out from under us, we didn't actually have that race.
Well,
That was
I
all
mean,
in your collective shared conscious.
I mean, we did.
You
But-
did. You did it in your mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
We did, but we did. Which is, that's really
That's
how
the
Percy
only
is with
reason
athletics.
why they were able to win.
No, we're good.
That's okay. Percy's fine with that.
So
I would
I.
also explain the retro style fashion that everyone has.
Also true. In the
That was
middle of the
personally
Louisiana bayou, nonetheless. All right, ladies. I'm Little Red
Look, I
Dot.
had
I
all
have
these
I have
too.
done all of the carpet ripping for the night. I am so excited to launch this again. I've been simmering on this. I've literally told no one. I've been like bursting at the seams to like talk about this season of Witch Girl Adventures. So I'm very excited to premiere, but also to get this story going. Couple announcements before we depart. First off, there is, thanks to these incredible ladies, additional content over on the Patreon. They don't know it yet, but there may be some more coming thanks to these ladies. I'll chat with them about that behind closed doors. But if you haven't already joined the Patreon, you gain access to the Discords, monthly chats with me and other Lot members. At a certain tier, I'll even help you plan a campaign, play in one of yours, even run one on a monthly basis for you and your friends privately. So lots of ways for you to get involved with the Lot and to continue telling stories. Other than that, we'll be back next Tuesday. In 2 weeks' time, I'm excited to announce that we are relaunching the first official season, so not a prologue season, but a full season of Scum and Villainy. So if you enjoyed our space shenanigans, Scum and Villainy is coming back in the top of September. That's moving to a Wednesday slot from 8 to 10, so you can catch Witches on Tuesday and Space on Wednesday, which is really super awesome. I'm working on a super secret project that I can't announce yet that's going to be coming in October. And then I think this little dot's going to take a much needed break in November and December. There's a project that's coming that I can't announce yet. It's the one Tiff and I have been talking about with NXNQ, and it's going to take some of my time. So I'm going to need to make that a reality. So November and December is going to be planning, but I am excited to announce. This will be the literal first announcement. I've talked about it. 2020 is going to be the year of Renegade Games on Dotbot. You can expect to see quite a few things, including Kids on Bikes, Teens in Space, Northwind? North Sea, which is the Vikings game. You can also expect to see, I'll be playing in an Outbreak campaign, not running it on this channel, so you can get some zombies coming at you. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to run an Overlight campaign as well. So lots of new content coming in 2020. Literally enough content for like a year's worth of stuff here on the channel. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew that even when this is done, we are never done. We are never done. So lots of fun things. And I too am getting ready for Dragon Con. I'm sad to announce today I cut a cosplay because I'm tired. Yo. I am tired, so I'm down. I've got one cosplay coming, but one of the cosplays I cut because I just didn't have time to put it together. Or funds really. Let's be real. Speaking of funds, I want to say thank you to Grant Ellis, who gave us those bits today to start filling up the drama bar, and to each and every one of you that followed the channel or subscribed in any way. Know that no matter how you support us, whether it's monetarily or non-monetarily, you help keep the Dot Lot going. This community is here for you, and you make things like this. So does our Patreon make shows like this possible, where I can make sure to pay these incredible players and continue to try to create the best content that I can for you and for the Dot Lot. I want to say thank you again. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next episode of Season 2 of Witch Girl Adventures. Until then, make sure that you calm your mind, and you always check and make sure nobody's playing with your head.
And be nice.
Be nice!
Toad.
Or be a toad.
Or be a toad.
Or be a toad. Until next time, everybody. Bye!